I just don't think they got enough. King is, the freshman is doing a solid job, but having him in a reserve role helps that team so much. They just can't replace him. And until Kalkbrenner gets back, I mean, you're talking what tonight headed to what, 6 in a row after starting out with 5-0. They started out 5-0 or 6-0 and dropped five straight. And I can't see them beating Marquette tonight. Marquette's going to put too much pressure on the rim. They got no resistance. Their pressure is going to bother him, and he was he was good against the pressure because he would catch lobs. I mean, he was shooting 76% from the floor. So when the guards got downhill, your big stepped up and helped. He just caught lobs. So we talk about him protecting the paint. He also finished well. I They just got to pray he comes back. I don't know what his illness is and what's going on with him, but they won't win another game until he gets back.
Are you learning more so how valuable Kalkbrenner is truly to this squad? I know you mentioned some of the things he does, but I feel like more than anything, we're learning how much they've depended on him that maybe was hidden in the past.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking Big East Defensive Player of the Year, right? I mean, yeah. So anybody would miss that caliber of guy. I just, you just can't replace that rim protection. I mean, and they were good. They were pressuring people. They'll get after you and pressure you. And then the last piece is just, you want to go in there and challenge my big guy? Go ahead. And he's blocking shots, changing shots, and missing that has just affected their defense. And then they can't get out. They can't get out and run. They can't get out in transition. It's just a trickle-down effect in so many different ways. And I don't know. I mean, I can't see him. And like I said, until he gets back, I hope he gets back soon because I don't see him winning another game. They're definitely not winning the Big East game unless they get Georgetown.
The crazy part is that like Fred King's played pretty well. The freshman,
he has been,
but he's just Kalkbrenner is just that good. Like he's a second-team All-American or something like that. He's that legit. The on-off numbers is a couple websites that have that stuff, and they're plus 30 per 100 when Kalkbrenner plays, and it drops to like plus 5 without him. Like that's a really sizable gap.
Woo! Look at the stats we're bringing out here.
Bring numbers, yeah. Oh yeah,
numbers guy, give us the data.
Yeah, it's not just dudes talk when Rob Doster's not here.
Tell him, get him.
I mean, I was going to say, what's the percentage when we step on with our right foot, with our left? Break it down for us.
If I have it, I'll let you know. I'll look that up. But the one thing I want to mention is that part of why we were supposed to get so excited about this Creighton team is because they played Kansas tough without Kalkbrenner. That was like the big thing. It was they challenged the eventual national champion without Kalkbrenner. So I don't want to totally give them a free pass when he's not out there. Like that was supposed to be a part of it, was their sophomores are that good. But I think we're seeing how much Hawkins meant last year too. O'Connell was effective, and these young guys haven't totally figured it out without being able to rely on a veteran presence like Kalkbrenner or Hawkins last year.
18 turnovers right now, by the way, for Creighton. Just like the way they're playing it, and it goes back to your Kalkbrenner, but when you have someone who's so dominant in the paint, who becomes the focal point of the scouting report for defenses, and then like you're going to have more people open on the perimeter as a result of Kalkbrenner being there, so you have a higher percentage situation where you don't have that defense right up on you. So he really does do so much besides the defensive end. Obviously, he's very missed right now. As for Marquette, what's the ceiling for this team? Like, I know RC, you mentioned, if they can compete with UConn to totally win this, but I mean, is there a scenario where maybe they can give them a run for their money here?
I think their style of play is always going to keep them in games, right? And if you turn it over, I just think they're going to need help to score a lot, is my concern. And against better guard play, if you don't, they're just one of those teams that they feed off of turning you over and speeding you up. If your guard play is solid enough and you can, or your perimeter offense in general, because some teams got bigs that bring it up. But if they're just better and you don't turn it over, then I want to see how Marquette handles that. But right now, when they can speed you up and turn you over, then you don't have a chance. They just come at you in waves. And that's what you're seeing tonight. Well, with Creighton, just like you said, it's 18 and it'll probably be over 20 before the game's going over, before the game ends. And so I want to see when the conference play, when the scouting report comes in and everybody knows it and they're capable of doing it. And I think some teams in the Big East, as we know, they are. And then I'll go all the way in on Marquette right now. Right now, I'm not saying they're not going to be good. I'm just saying they're not going to be. I don't have them being second in the Big East, like right behind UConn. I'm not there yet.